What's good, y'all? Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube. Bro, if you're watching, please like and subscribe, bro. Don't fast forward. Don't keep watching without liking and subscribing. Please don't. And then also, I hope y'all have a wonderful week. God bless you. It's all love. Never settle. What's good, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Mike Motivation Monday. And as you can see, I have another great guest. But before we dive into our guest and his story and his business and businesses, actually, we're going to talk about the book of the week. And so the book of the week is Jay-Z Made in America by Michael Eric Dyson. And this book is a very great book, not only because of the story of Jay-Z and his entrepreneurship and his business tactics, but Michael Eric Dyson's style of writing. Like he almost writes in like more of a style poem, like it's like almost like a poem or reading a rap. And so it's very entertaining, but then you're able to grasp the information a lot easier because of the entertainment aspect of his style of writing. So when you get a chance, check out Jay-Z Made in America by Michael Eric Dyson. And so to dive into our guests, like Nico McQueese, right?
Nico McQueese, yeah.
Yeah, Nico McQueese. And so when I first went into LifeStyle Juices, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago.
Yes, sir.
The one thing that I felt like that impacted me the most and gave me a different level of motivation is seeing you in the LifeStyle Juices working with your kids. Like to see them, how professional they were, how polite they were, and how efficient y'all all was as a team. You know what I mean? And it was like a family business. And I feel like for me, that's huge for what I want to do with my future family and then my younger siblings. So can you kind of talk about the impact of having your kids and seeing that family aspect of, because your wife's also in there too at times, and y'all all work together so well. Can you talk about how important that is to you?
Well, I grew up in Jamaica where family was everything.
Mm-hmm.
We stayed close, we worked together,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to pass that same culture on to my kids.
Yeah.
So when we decided, okay, let's start a business,
Mm-hmm.
we decided we wanted to start a business where we all could work together.
Yeah.
And we did research. We came up with the best idea because all my life I worked for restaurants. So
Mm-hmm.
I decided, well, I want to serve something more healthier,
Yeah.
something that I can give back to the community.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided a fresh juice bar would be the best thing
Yes.
to do. And that's something where the kids, the wife, we all could work together to
Mm-hmm.
obtain our goals,
Yeah.
So that's how we came up with the business to
Mm-hmm.
start LifeStyle Juices. And,
Yeah.
my kids, 12, 13, 14,
Mm-hmm.
it's time for them to start learning.
Yeah, 100%. And
So-
then, go ahead, I'm sorry.
So that's why I brought them in, and that's why I teach them the business.
Yeah.
So they have a idea and the aspect of how the business is run, because really and truly in the future, the business will be theirs.
Yes, 100%. That's their business.
Yeah.
And I love that too, because you can just see like the expansion of how they're thinking, just like their glow, so to speak. Because when you walk in and then they just approach you in such a professional way and know what's going on as far as the business. And then I always see them running out getting stuff as far as cup holders, straws, and stuff like that. Those are certain things that a business owner does, not just the employee. So you're teaching them this side of, okay, working, but then every aspect of the business, but then can you kind of talk about, like you kind of touched on it a little bit, but one thing I talked to you about yesterday is you was working in restaurants at first, and you said you was a cook at McDonald's, but you was the hardest working cook there. Can you kind of talk about not only what you learned from those times working in restaurants like that, but then also hard work?
Well, came from Jamaica pretty young, but by the time I was 15,
Yeah.
I got a job working at McDonald's.
Young.
And that was, I was from doing, we always had to do our chores around the house. That was everyday work, but that was my first job.
Yeah.
And they taught me the kitchen. It was kind of hard at first, by being new to the country, being new to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But once I got it down pat, I was the best cook McDonald's ever had.
Yeah.
And from there, I moved my way up. When I was in 10th grade, 11th grade, I was a shift manager for McDonald's.
Oh, wow.
The minute I graduated high school, I was a professional manager working for McDonald's, salary manager. So, but that's how I learned to work hard. And like when you come into the juice bar, 90% of the time I'm there by myself if the kids are in school or something like that. And if 10, 15 people walk in, I'm going to get those people served in a timely manner because
yes,
that's just my aspect, and that's what I try to teach my kids. And like I was explaining to you in the beginning when I just opened up the juice bar, I was still working for restaurant. I was still working for Chili's at the time.
Yeah.
And it was tough balancing out both, but I learned from that. And I would tell anybody who was about to open up their business, put your 100%, leave whatever you're doing and put 100% in your business that you're about to open because that's the only way you're going to build that business the way it needs to be.
That's true, man. That's so true because that's kind of the, because I went there, I don't even know if you remember because you have so many people walking in, but one time I was like, yeah, man, I'm thinking about registering and starting up my business soon. He was like, get your LLC and just dive into it.
Yes.
Just dive into your business. And because when I started to really dive into my business, that's when I started to see growth in what I was trying to do. And the impact and the intention on it was just being felt just because of the energy and the flow of what was going on. So can you kind of, one thing I like that you always talk about, I feel like, is your work ethic. Like, like your work ethic right now, you might have not been able to handle that at 15 years old, being a cook for McDonald's. Can you talk about where did your work ethic start from? Because I think you touched on it being in Jamaica and everything's different there. So can you kind of talk about where you kind of, that work ethic was born? Like, no matter what I do, I'm going to put 100% into it.
Work ethics was, like I was explaining, it was a little bit, different in Jamaica. Because when I grew up, I remember when I started knowing myself 3 years old. I mean, we didn't even have TVs back then. Eventually, we had black and white TVs. And school, I had to walk maybe about 12 miles to school, to and from every day.
And it's hot in Jamaica too, ain't it?
It's pretty warm, but it was just an everyday routine. So you build up that strength and have that strong work ethic, and then school, we learn to be strong in school and to be motivated. A lot have to do with our parents too, though. Yeah. But most of it is just self-discipline, And when we finally came here to the U.S., my uncle said to me, you know what? When you go to work, no matter what it is, give 100% and do the best you can, no matter how you feel. Just put your all into it. And I learned that if you put your all into what you're doing, eventually you will succeed. So my work ethic, and that's what I teach my kids. Just put 100% into it, and you learn from your mistake down the line, and you'll correct yourself. And then you'll get everything right. That's why in the juice bar, I put 100. Anything I make, any drink I put together, I put 100% into it, and I make sure that drink is right.
Yes, that's true, man. And one thing I love about every time I go there is, man, like I could be having I can be having a bad day. I go in, the respect level, and then your appreciation for just the one customer.
Yes.
Like you take every customer serious.
Yes.
No matter who it is, no matter if they're having a bad day or what their energy's like, you take each individual serious. And then you say, God bless you when you leave.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, the smoothies is wonderful. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel better after drinking the smoothie, but the combination of all that, I feel like I just want to thank you too for being able to do that and then giving back to our community, because one thing you said that stuck with me yesterday, and then another day you said too, is I want to stay here in the community.
Yes.
I want to give back to our people.
Yes.
Like we deserve to have these healthy food options, because no disrespect to no food trucks or anything like that, but you go down, you can walk 5 minutes, you're going to be running into a taco truck, you're going to be running into fast food stuff, you're going to be running into fries, burgers, and Jimmy John's, you know what I mean? You're going to be running into a lot of food that's really not healthy for our community. And for me, that's really important. But then can you kind of talk about, I think you said something about yesterday, is how when you was working at McDonald's, sometimes you wouldn't feel as good going to sleep because you wasn't comfortable with what our people was consuming.
Exactly.
But can you talk about how you feel now about as far as health, like, because you're really saving lives, man. You really are.
And health-wise, like I said before, you know, when I work for these restaurants and I go to bed, I like, man, you know, the calories in this food is just not healthy. So I knew something wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started this juice bar and I just see the glow on people's faces, people's skin, the way they talk, and how much the juice has helped them, has cleansed them, and even me myself. Since I started working for the juice bar, I probably lost about 15 pounds. You know, I stay in the healthy zone. And all I do is just diet right and eat right. And it's all about keeping it. A lot of people are like, well, why do you stay in these neighborhoods? And I'm like, I like this. This is the neighborhood I grew up in. You know, these are my people. I am not going to be afraid of my people. And we need to bring healthy stuff into this neighborhood. It's not about going out to Waukee or West Des Moines. It's keeping it where it's going to help change the culture and change people's lives.
Yes.
Yes.
Because a part of the problem, too, is like, just say for a little kid, and they say, like, going to all these schools, the nutritional value in what they're eating is horrible. And so then they wonder why these kids can't concentrate and learn because they're not eating the proper food or not even having breakfast at home because they can't afford it or they don't have access to a lifestyle juices. And so I feel like that's important for our community, just as far as mental health too, because when like I said, I go in there, I have a smoothie, we have the conversations we have. I just come out of lifestyle juices with full of energy. You know what I mean? My mindset's in a different spot. So if I do come across a situation that challenges my emotional intelligence and stability, I'm going to be able to handle that situation in a proper way. You know what I mean? So I feel like eating healthy, physical health is really well.
Very important. Eating healthy and getting your physical health.
Yes.
And that's why I was always a people person. Even when I was a manager, I was still a people person. To every one of my employees that work for me, I always touch base. That's why it's very important to touch base with each and every guest that walk through that door. Whether they have a smile on their face or whether they have a frowns on their face. I take that 2-3 minutes to touch base with them. Hey, how you doing today? How's your day? You know, what are you doing? What are you about to do today? You know, and just, you know, try to feel them out. And, you know, most of the time they talk back to you. And by the end of the day, by the end of your conversation, you know so much about that one individual that the next time when that one individual come back, that person can strike up a conversation right away.
Right away,
I touch base with everybody. I want to know the people in my community, you know? 100%. Exactly, because I want to be able to give back to my community.
That's important.
Details, I'm telling you. It's do your research. Like the juice bar, before I got into it, I did my research. I had some friends in New York that ran some juice bar. I went down, sat down with them, you know, learned the you know, and one thing they taught me, learn your nutritional value of all the fruits and the vegetables because you need to know this so when questions are asked, you can be able to answer them. You know, so you got to do your research, get your detail down to pack. And then, like I said, you don't sit back and say, okay, this person is going to run the business for me or this person is going to do that. No, you need to be the focus point of your business. You need to be in the front of everything. Let everybody come in and follow behind you and help you that way. But you have to be the heart of the business. Once you get to be the heart of that business, you'll be surprised how much that business grew. You know, I mean, I left Chili's and I was up 100% in sales last year over the year before.
Blessings, man.
So you know that's a blessing just by talking to your guests, giving them 100% of what they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Treating every person equal. And I was saying something about touching base with each and every one of your guests. You got to make everybody feel important, you know, because you have no idea what kind of day a person is having, you know. and to make them smile, to just make them feel respected is very, very, very important, especially to me. I make them feel that they got the best service when they walk in. I make them feel respected. I make them want to come back, put it that way. So that's how I feel about people in my community, because sometimes it can be tough, you know.
Can you kind of talk about some of the tough times for you, and like, was there ever a point you were like, man, I don't know if I can do this? Or is there a point like, man, I'm gonna have to really figure something out? Can you kind of talk about that a little bit?
You know, even though I did my research, and like I said, when I just opened up, my tough points was working for Chili's at the same time and trying to keep the juice bar going, because it was tough being at two places at the same time. Because, you know, Chili was hard by itself to run, and when I'm there, I'm the only one there. I'm in charge until somebody else comes in. So I was already carrying that weight, and then getting texts on phone calls saying, hey, the juice bar needs this, or this is going on, or this person didn't show up, or we have to close the juice bar down. That was tough. I really learned from that. I have to say it's an experience. It's a learning experience, though. I learned from that. And then finally, you know, I told Chili, you know, I have to leave and go take care of what's mine. So those were the tough points, when you just leave people there by themselves who really didn't want to be there. Or leave people there who would close the door and leave when they wanted to leave. I struggled for the first couple of years because of that, because times when I think the juice bar was open, some of my guests would text me on my phone and say, Nico, why is the juice bar closed? And I'm at Chili's, you know, already running that. And then I'm getting, I mean, I could not, that was the toughest. A lot more of the younger guests like you would come to me and say, Nico, why did it take you so long to do this? We were wondering why you didn't do this a long time ago. And it's just a fulfillment for it that today I look at myself and I say, man, I would never, ever work for anybody else again. And that's why I advise every young individual who decide, and it's possible. And people sit around and they say, oh, well, black people don't support black people. That's not true. 95%, 85% to 95% of my supporters are young black folks. So we cannot say that. If it's healthy and if it's right, the support is going to come in. But like I was saying, it just took off. I was barely, I mean, it wasn't doing, well, if it was even making money, I didn't know because I never seen it. But the minute I came in and jumped in the shoe and cycled up, the business, the consistency with the juice bar being open and time and being open, and the consistency in the drinks, man, people just kept coming back, and it just, Facebook and with the social media just kept built. It's built, I've done any marketing. To be honest, the business on Facebook built itself. So, and like I say, it wasn't for the support, like the 85% of the support of the young black, and you know, who comes in and support me, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So thank you for that. I really appreciate the support. And I do let them know every time they visit, you know, everybody, hey, thanks for your support, you know. What can I do to make things different, you know, and they talk to me and they share stuff, and that's why I talk to everybody. Yeah, because I learn from each and every one. And then when they say they're trying to achieve goals, I say, well, go for it. Don't be afraid. Because you're either going to do it, make it, or you're not. But at least you tried, instead of sitting there and said, I should have. That don't do you no good. And 99% of the time, you're going to succeed.
Yeah. That's true. You can't give up. Can you talk about the importance of like not giving up though? Because I feel like that's so important. Like for you to just keep it going and just double down on yourself.
Right. Sometimes I felt like giving up, but my wife, she was like, man, listen, I know it's tough for you right now, and I wish if I could help, but I got my own little son over here that I'm struggling with. But she says, don't give up. Because I'm like, well, maybe I just need to, because I can't be at two places. I want him to say, well, you get smart. Leave Chili's alone and take this over and see what happens. But don't give up on it. At least try. So at times when I was struggling because I was at both places, I felt like giving up. Yeah, because I was at both places, which, like I said, I learned from that. You can't do that. It's not going to balance itself out unless you got somebody that's really going to be there to help you, and that's going to be tough to find. So at those points, but like I said, she was my stronghold right there, so I give her credit for that. She was like, nope, you can do it. And I sure did.
Yeah, you did, man. That's good.
She said, well, I have visions. The vision, she said, I have dreams, and the same dreams that she told me she had years ago about what the Lord said to do is the same things that are happening today. Yeah.
Man, powerful vision.
Exactly. She said, the vision the Lord gave me said not to give up. You're going to shine and your business is going to prosper. And eventually, I would like to put a juice bar in every neighborhood. South side, east side. It's not so much going out to Joaquin and West Des Moines. No. We want to help our people, bring health to where health belongs, you know. Like you said, the basic workout, the eating and drinking right, you know. Keep yourself healthy. Keep the sicknesses, keep the diseases away from your body, you know, and just keep on going. Because during this pandemic, we had so many people, people died, but so many people even came back and forth to the juice bar. When they got even the COVID, they only had it for like 2 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 2-3 days, and they was well.
Wow.
And then the ones that did never come to the juice bar but ordered their ginger shot when they got COVID and their sweet greens, they recovered like that. I have not a guy, he had diabetes and something else, and he was heavy built. When he got COVID, I made him up his ginger shot. And I'm just giving back, these are stuff we donated because we're giving back to the community. When they get sick, the ginger shot, the gallon of sweet greens, he told me, he said, the minute I start drinking the ginger shots and drink that sweet greens, I had energy, I was able to eat. First, I couldn't eat, so I was able to get up, eat, and start moving around, and that's how he got well.
Wow.
Yeah, and he can testify to that today.
That's a blessing, man.
Yeah, so it's all about health. You know, you eat right. Through this whole pandemic, I've been working in the juice bar. I mean, I wear my mask, but I know people come in and out of there. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. But as long as you stay healthy, you'll be fine. Yeah.
So, two more things I really want to ask you. So the first thing is, if you could recommend 2 drinks, and I'll do the same, but recommend 2 drinks is when they come into Lifestyle Juices, what would it be?
The real healthy drinks, the sweet greens is definitely one of them. You know, if you want to stay on the healthy side, sweet greens, and then the other drink I recommend is the Gringo. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Those 2 drinks are top of the line, but if you really want to cleanse your system and get your sweet greens, get your ginger shot, your wheatgrass shot, just stay healthy, because it's tough. We in tough times, man. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
And so I would say sweet green is definitely one of my favorite ones. That's what I ate. I drank that for and I was getting gallons of that. I was drinking that that's 3-4 months straight, just getting it, just the sweet green. And then I had got my mom the refresher. Yes. If you get a chance, please try the refresher. It's really good. I love it. That's one of my favorite ones.
The refresher, it's seasonal. Right now, my supplier, you know, they don't have plums or peaches in stock, but right by April we should have the refresher again. Another thing is the sea moss.
Okay.
I would recommend every young person
drink that sea moss. I've been doing it lately too.
Keep that sea moss in your diet. It replenishes your whole body. Keep you strong. Clean out your respiratory system. Balance out your thyroid so you really don't gain weight. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to, if you want to gain weight, they help you to get. It just balance your whole body. mentally. Just that's really healthy.
Okay,
For
CMOS.
any young person is to get that CMOS and take that CMOS on a regular basis.
Okay, 100%.
Yes, sir.
And then my last question is, I like to ask every guest is, if there was a young person walking down the street and they came up to you, they was like, Nico, if you can give me advice about anything, what would it be?
Start your own business.
Mm.
Go to school, try to get the best education you can, and try to start your own business. And man, like I told you, I worked for companies for all my life. I know that I own my own business. Like I said, I would never, ever work for anybody again. Because you get that fulfillment to know you're doing something that you enjoy, that you really want to do, that you can go and lay down to your bed at night and feel good about. Follow your dreams and start your own business.
Yes, I think that's great advice. And I was literally just talking to a group of people yesterday about this. Is as soon as I got that little taste of selling my first shirt or training the first person,
There you go.
there was no going back.
That's what I'm saying.
There was no going back. There's no going back. Like, I just can't do it, you know?
You knew that's what you wanted to do. You knew you
yes.
felt the fulfillment right there.
It's a different energy you get.
So yeah, my advice to young, go to school, get that education, and then start your own business.
Man.
Especially in Iowa, where black folks really don't own nothing here at all.
Yes, that's the truth.
We don't have no kind of businesses here, so that needs to change. We need to start our own business, and don't listen to that. Black folks don't support. That's not true. And I'm the living example of that. That is not true.
That's true, man. Thank you so much for doing this, man. This means a lot, and I'm sure.
I really appreciate it, and I will do this anytime you need it to be done again.
Okay, thank you, man. That means a lot.
Stay blessed.
Yep. All right, y'all. See y'all later.
See y'all later.
Like, subscribe, share, comment. We'll see you later.